So some general editing guidelines for the CSS. We'll look at the CSS file here as part of the theme. And I wouldn't recommend editing this the theme CSS because as we release updates, that's going to get overwritten. So I would recommend putting your updates in the Divi theme options area. Or if you know how to make your own additional style sheet and bring that in, you could do it that way too. But I would leave this one untouched for the most part. First off, we have a typography section. So as of right now, Divi doesn't have global heading styles, and so we're setting those here so they can be somewhat global. So here you can see we have our H1s through H6 block quote, some list items here, and then we're making adjustments for tablet and mobile on those. And then we have some header stuff going on, just some basic styling that we're doing, some box shadow stuff, things like that, and positioning the top pieces and whatnot. And then we have our navigation. And if you're happy with the navigation, you can just probably just be safe to leave it as it is. But this is our navigation that we're doing for the demo to make sure that it goes down in font size as the window gets smaller and things like that. And then we also have a few helper classes built into the super themes. And these ones are a solid or a transparent overlay over your background images, parallax image or video, or your parallax image, I mean. And so we have a few options for that: black, dark, and gray. You can see here the differences there. And these will be much more apparent when you use them on top of an image, but it just helps put a subtle overlay over the image so your text can be readable. And then we have a column switch feature that we use quite a bit where you have, and let me see if I have it on this page here. So here normally, here's column 1, column 2, column 1, column 2. And normally on mobile or on tablet, Divi's going to stack these image, then text, and then this text is going to be next, and then image, which is fine, but then you have a text column followed right with a text column. I think it should go image text and then image text. And so we use that class to help us out so that when we go down, we get the image, then text, then image, then text. So it's just reversing the columns for that row that it's applied on mobile, tablet and mobile. And then we have a special inline button feature that when I see that, I'll check that out. I believe that's on the modules page here. Yep. So you can have a couple buttons inline if you want. Just got to add the class to the row there. So sfly inline button row. And you can see what's happening there. And then we stack them at 600. And then we have our hero section there, which I'll cover in a bit. But I'm going to scroll to our general section here. And I'm going to pull the general page here. So there's not a lot of custom CSS going on in the general section. One thing that you'll see a lot, though, throughout this theme is the idea of the background image being used. So a section like this. Here we have this text over here, and we have an image over here. Now we don't know how much text there is going to be. There could be more than this or even less than this. So this image right here is actually a background image, and it has a divider in it. And so what we're doing, I think the divider is set at like 1 pixel maybe. So what we're doing is we're telling it, hey, give that divider a minimum height. Right off the bat, it has a minimum height of 300, and then we're saying, hey, at 980 go to 400, and then go to 300 here. Actually, up here it's actually matching the column. The column heights are being matched. But usually that works great until you get to 980, Divi's tablet, and then it's going to not show this because it's going to think it's an empty row, or it'll just show like a 1 pixel, however big your divider is. So with this, we're saying, hey, go to 400. So if I go down to 980, like so, this is going to be 400 pixels. And then down at 600, it's going to be reduced down to 300. Let me get down there. There we go, to 300. So a couple ways that, obviously you can adjust that, and you'll see this in other pages. So you can adjust that here. Or let's say you just want this one section to be, hey, when this particular section here is at 980, I want this guy to be maybe 500 instead. So what you would do then is you can inspect this section, and you could go up to this section here and see that it's the SFly General 6. And so then what I could say is I could copy this rule right here, and then in your style sheet or whatever, you'd put SFly General _6, min height 500. And I think you could actually keep the SFly General actually too. So it'd be even more specific because it's going to have, yeah, go find the section that has the SFly General class and also has the SFly General 6 class, and make that one 500. And you'll see here this one has SFly General class and also the SFly General 6. Or you can put your own custom class on there and target it that way. But that's how you would do that. And I think outside of that, that's the only CSS that's in the general section. So we will move on.